Hey guys, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please put a message in the chat box and we will start at 6:30. All right, hey guys, we're gonna start very soon, and I just copied this this link and put it into the chat box. You can click on the link and go to this website, and I think it's cool, and you can have all the emoji from this website. All right, let's just go to the website we are working on, which is the Repawit. So you have the Repawit, right? And you can sign up with the Repawit, so you can every time you can store. If you work on the file and you can save it, and you can also share to the other people if you have something fun, and you share to your friends, and they can also run your program. Okay. And now let's just go back to our tutorial, and we always use w3schools.com, and so you can come over here and click on the tutorials, go all the way down to the programming, and you will see learn Python, and that's how we go to the Python section. So far we already learned all the way to while loops, and we haven't covered leaks, tuples, sets, dictionary, but we already learned if else, while loops, and data types, all kind of things like that. So we just go through some of them, but we might miss this one. It's called comments. So what comments do is just like you put a pound sign in front of the any line in front of that. So you have to put pound sign. Once you put a pound sign as the first character, and you would turn the whole line become green, and which we call is a comment. So what comment do is just like do nothing. It's just a sentence, and you leave some notes in your program, and somehow you can read it, and it doesn't affect your program because it's just a comment. Okay, it's just like a checkbox, and you put a message there. Doesn't really matter. So what I'm gonna show you, just show you like that. And if you put a pound sign here, and I say print, I say I am a comment. If you put I am a comment here, and this whole line will turn into grade, right? If you don't, and something like that. But if you put a pound sign here, it just turns the whole line into a gray, in the gray color. So if I run it, and nothing will happen because it's just a comment. And in the comment, and you can do the other coding, and you set, like, for example, print hello world, something like this. And now your program will run, and it will skip this line because it's just a comment. With this comment, and you can do a lot of things, like you can even put it behind here, at the end of the line. Like, for example, you can put by the end of here. Like, it's just for you to do leave some note in your program, and somehow you might forgot what is doing with your code. But like here, I would say I want to print hello world. So that's how we can put the comment. You can put the comment in here, or you can put the comment by the end of your coding. As long as you have a pound sign here, and you turn the whole one into, like here in this website, you will turn it into gray, and it really doesn't matter. It won't affect your program, and it just give you some notice. And next time when you read your code and you find, oh, there's a pound sign here, and there's a comment, and you know what happened for your coding. And we learn variables. Variables is kind of fun because it's just like a box or a pocket, and you can put whatever you want into this box, this variable we call variable. So for example, you can put a number like number 5, and you can also put a string. We call string because we have a code, either single quote or double quote, really doesn't matter in Python. And you can put the whole string into the variable. So you can name the variable like X, Y, Z, or you have some meaning, like for example, is my name equal to John. Okay, so yeah, that's how we do variable. And we know variable can, like a pocket, you can put numbers, string, and also Booleans. So what is called Booleans? And let's click on this, and you'll see Booleans is just saying is true or false. So we already use this true or false, because if it is true, and which means if you use the if function, like if function, if something is true, now you can do in this code block, like I am really true. So something like that. If it is true, and then I'm going to print this one. So true is like a condition in this if statement. So let me run it, and you will see what I mean. So if it is true, and you print I am really true. Okay, so for example, if is 1 is less than 2, in this condition and or comparison, and it would obviously it will be true, right? So that's why if it is 1 less than 2, and it will be true. If it is true, and we are going to print I'm really true. So the same, have the same result, is saying I'm really true. And you can also, you don't want to just have the if statement. You can even do like this: if 1 less than 2, and if you run this one, if you saying is true. So basically 1 less than 2, and it will have the value is true. So on the other hand, if you have 1 greater than 2, and it will create a value called false, right? It's false. And if you go back to the if 1 greater than 2, then you will print I am 1 is greater than 2. And if I run it, and because 1 is not greater than 2, and that's why you won't show this sentence. So let me run it, and you will see. And there's nothing come up because 1 is less than 2. So that's why if you have the else, the first one is if, and the second one is inside the under the if statement, and you have this block. And this block, if this one is true, and the program will run this line. Otherwise, if it is false, and the program will run else this line. So it's print 1 is less than 2. Now you will see, if I run this program, obviously it would be 1 is less than 2, right? So I'm going to run it. So you got 1 is less than 2. In order to make this program a little bit more reusable, so you may have something like this. I will define a variable. For example, I will define a equal to input, which I'm asking someone to put a number. So you would say, I have a sentence here. Please give me one number. And I have b equal to input. Please give me another number. All right. So you have these two numbers, and we can do a comparison. So if a is greater than b, you would say, if a is greater than b, you would have, remember last time we will have, you would have to do this. Let me do this one first, because when you input it, it will always be a string. That's why we have to convert it to a integer. And also for this one, we use int, this built-in function, to convert your input to an integer. So you have a and b are integer. If a is greater than b, we will print if a is greater than b, is a is greater than b. So a is greater than b, or a is less than b. Okay, so I'm going to click run and test my program and see it work or not. So I click run. Please give me a number, and I will put 99. Please give me another number, 100. So a is less than b, so which is correct because 99 is less than 100. And you might also, hey, why don't you just replace a with the 99 and b with 100? So how am I going to do that? You can do something like this. I show you. You can do a percentage here and another parenthesis. You put a and b You might not know what this means. It means a tuple, but so far we just do it in this way. Okay. For the A, the first one, you will do percentage D, and this one also percentage D. So what does it mean? Percentage D. It means just it means you can replace the percentage D with this value as a number. So you fill with the first one with the A, and you fill the second one with the B. And also you will do the same thing like here, D, another D, and percentage A, and B. And now let's try it again. I'm going to click run. So it's again 99, and this time is 88. So 99 is greater than 88. So that's how our program works. And what I want you to do, you start to just work on this program and copy it, or once you finish, please let me know. And once you're done, please put the message on your checkbox so I know you have been done. Again, there are a lot of parentheses at the end. Just be careful about that. They always come into a pair, like one pair, two pairs. So make sure you have two of them by the end to match each, because they are all function. Like input is a function, and they need to put the parameter inside a parenthesis. That's how we call this function. And again, if you have any question, you can leave a message into the chat box. I will answer your question. I guess most of you guys are still working on the program, but I would say there's one bug in this program, because if A equal to B, and what should I do? Should I say is A is less than B? Like 99 is less than 99? So once you have done this code, and could you please just fix it? Again, if you forgot this link, and I may just put it in the chat box, so you can go to the repel it. But I would suggest you to just do a bookmark in your browser. So if you have Chrome, you can click on this button. If you have Firefox or IE or Edge, and you can find the same thing, similar button, and just bookmark your website. So next time you won't have the trouble to go to this website. Okay. So yeah, I think most of you guys continue to work on that. I will just fix my problem. And what I'm gonna do is just like, just have between if and else, these two blocks. I will add else if A is equal to B, because in Python we use double equal to say equal. A single equal is called assign. You assign the value to this variable, and that's why we have else if. And now you can print and do the same thing. You said %d is equal to %d, another one. Now you have this, and again this percentage, which is we are doing something called formatting. And I keep A and B, these two variables, A and B. And what I do here is just A, put it on here, B, put it on this place, just replace the %d. And it just come with 1 and 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do is run again. I will test 99, another number is 99, and now it would be 99 is equal to 99. This is how I'm going to fix this program with add one more else if here, because you have if. Then if this one is not true, and we will come to evaluate in this line. If this one is continue not true, and it will jump to else. So basically they are split them into 3 blocks, right? So you have 1 block, 2 blocks, and the last blocks. If none of them is working, it's not true, they're all false, and it will come to the last one. All right, so I will give you 3 more minutes. Please make sure you have done and leave me a message. So we are continue to making a game, maybe not a game, it's a store, a grocery store to buy the food from my program. So I want you to let me know if you are done. Once you're done, please leave me a message in the chat box so we can start. All right, so I guess most of you guys have been done. If you have not yet, and I will send the code to your parents, and you can follow the same code and do the same experiment. And let's just continue with our class. So we just talk about true or false, because if you print true or false, you just like the program will see if this one is true, and then it would be have the value called true. That's what we call Boolean. And we have 10 equal to 9 is false. Then we got the value called false. And basically it's the same thing for the rest of them. And you can go through this document, this page, and you will see more. And we will continue with the while loops, which we learned last week. In the while loops, and which making the program to do it again and again until this expression, this condition is false. If it is true, and it just keep looping. And that's why if you're making this one without ending your program, it will come into a dead loop. But sometimes we might intentionally want it to be looping forever. So I'm going to make a program, and we'll see how to make why I am going to make it looping forever. So the first one will be we have I'm gonna remove this code first, and now you have while is true. So what it means is like this block under the while true, this block it just keep looping forever. So I'm gonna show you like print I am looping forever. Okay, I'm looping forever. So if I click run, it just keep looping forever. So don't do that, and that's why I click stop and just don't do that, because you are looping forever. But sometimes you really want it to loop. Why? Because like for example, you're running a game, you're making a game, right? The game is just keep looping and looping and doing something, right? So I'm doing like this. I'm showing you like this, and you set let's say I would have print welcome to our store, maybe Apple Store or the supermarket, whatever, just welcome to our store. And while true, and you are asking, saying like print what do you want to buy? So you're asking that, and again you would want to have the your user to answer your question, right? So I'm just saying for example, what I want to buy, let's just have a variable called good or goods equal to input. Okay, so the user will tell you I'm going to buy a pizza, something like this. So I'm going to run this program and see it work or not. I'm going to clear everything, and now I'm going to run it. Once again, you click run, and it will say welcome to our store, what do you want to buy? So I will say a pizza, and again it's keep asking me what do you want to buy, and this time I will say apple, and it just keep asking me like orange, and how about egg, something like this. So I want you to finish this code as soon as possible, and we are going to make put more things in this program, and it would be a lot fun. So please just leave me a message once you have finished this code, this 5 lines code. Okay, and put a message into the chat box so I can know you have been done. All right, most of you guys have been done, and I'm going to continue with this this program. So we already know the user will answer you. For example, I have pizza, so I want to say if goods equal to, remember it's double equal to pizza. All right, it's equal to pizza, and you say print a pizza. So, but here I want you to print emoji, like emoji. So what I want you to do, just come to this website, and I will copy the link and put it into the chat box in case you haven't been there. And you open a new tab, like this new tab, and you copy this link and open in the new tab, okay? Or you can either just click on the link and it will go to the new tab, this new tab, okay? Now in here you can find, probably you can find pizza. So if you scroll down here and you click on the pizza one, and let me see if I can, and now I can highlight this one, right? You can highlight it, and you use right click and copy, or if you are familiar with shortcut in Windows, you hold your control key and press the C, letter C, or in math you use command and press C, and it's up to you. You can right click and copy. Now you go back here, and on this one here you can paste, but I don't think they have to paste, so that's why I use the shortcut, and you press the control key and press V. So control C, control V, or in math you use command C, command V. And now you should have print the pizza out. Okay, so I stop my program. Now I clear everything. I'll run it again. And what do you want to buy? I want to buy a pizza. Now again, what do you want to buy? And I want to add more things. So what I want you to do, just finish these two code and find out where's the pizza, and if the goods is pizza, you will print a pizza. Okay, at the meantime I am going to, I may just copy this pizza and put it here. If you want it like this, you can copy from the chat box, or you can just go all the way to here and find the pizza, like this pizza. You highlight it, you use your mouse to highlight it, and now you right click and copy, or you can use shortcut. You have control plus C to copy the pizza, and now you come back to your program between the single code, and you paste the pizza. Use the control V plus V, like control V, something like this. Okay, so at the meantime I will add more, like else if goods equal to, it's up to you. You don't have to follow what I do. You can have the any emoji you want, like I can go back here. Let's see, I can have what kind of emoji. I can have a bacon because I like bacon. So you copy the bacon and you put it here. So if the goods is bacon, and I will print, and don't forget to have a single quote. I will print the bacon, and else print, sorry, we don't have it. We do not have it. Okay, we do not have it. Bacon, pizza, and what else? I don't know. Yeah, you can do more, like else if, and yeah, I will let you guys add more because that's what I want to do. And if you're done one of them, like if you finish the pizza, please let me know. Just put it into the chat box. I will add the amount, like you know, what do you want to buy. The second question would be how much you want to buy, or how many do you want to buy. And now I will show, like for example, I want 4 pieces of pizza. I put the number 4 and it will have 4 pizza. Okay, so that's the next step I'm gonna do. But right now I want you to finish this program, and if you put pizza and bacon, it will show pizza and bacon. Or it's up to you. You don't have to be pizza and bacon. You can choose any of them, like, or you might like hamburger, hot dog, or popcorn, taco, whatever you want. Just you put it into your store, and we can buy whatever you want. Of course, if you have more products in your store, which will be much more better for your grocery store. Again, if you have finished this code, please let me know. Well, if your code doesn't work, in most case, because you forgot to put the single code, wrap your pizza, because your pizza have to be wrapped with the single quote or double quote and make it as a string. So you have the bacon inside the code, this code, the pizza inside the code, because that in that way it will be a pizza is a string in Python, like this one, a string. All right, so I think most of you guys have been done, and I'm going to, yeah, good job if you can add else if more, because I want you to have more products in your store, right? So you can't just selling two things, pizza and bacon in your store. You have to have a lot of food or drink in your store, right? So one more thing I want to add is just like you would say, let's say just print another one. It's after you ask the first question and the answer, what do you want to buy? And the second question would be how many do you let's do it, how many do you want? So something like that. And it just saying let's say quantity, or let's just use Q. Q stand for the quantity. And again it's an input, and because it should be a number, so that's why we have to convert it with the int function to convert your input from the string to the number. So for example, I would put I want to buy four pieces of pizzas, so that's the Q will be number 4. So in here, all the print, you will print multiple by the Q, okay, and which will print number of pizza. So I am going to show you. I stop my program and clear the black box, and now I click run. And what do you want to buy? I want to buy pizza. Now how many do you want? I want 18. So you should have 18 pieces of pizza. Again, what do you want to buy? And you said bacon. And how do you want to buy? And I want to have 100. So you have 100 pieces of bacon. Okay. So what I want you to do is add one more question. And you should have the Q here. And now you have to multiply by this string and duplicate your pizza and or your bacon or whatever food or drink you have in your store, and it will show a lot of pieces. And this question will keep asking until the last thing I want you to do. Okay, so yeah, at the meantime, I want you to add one more thing. Just like here, what do you want to buy? If you said goods, or hold on. If you said if goods is equal to buy, if you say buy, and let's see what happened. If you say buy, and you will break the loop, break it, you will break this while loop. And before you break it, you will say print see you again, something like this. So what does it mean? It means like if there's nothing you want to buy, you're just saying buy, and the program will say see you again, and now it will break and end your program. So I'm going to try it and you will see what I mean. And again, I am going to create everything and click on run. And what do you want to buy? Pizza. Now how many? 8. And what do you want to buy? I said buy. And now it will see you again and your program will end. So you know what I mean? And this code block is just like this whole code block will just let you end your while loop. It's not going to be infinite. You can break it. Use break to break your loop and jump out from the loop, and you leave your store and you will buy nothing. Okay, so that's what I want you to do, and you can finish this code as soon as possible, or if you can, and you can continue to add more products like more bacon, pizza, whatever you want to buy. So that's what I want you to do for this week. After you finish this code, I will show you one more trick, and but I want you to finish it until 7:28 or 20, yeah, maybe 26. So I'm going to show you another trick. All right, so there's one trick I want to show you. For example, if someone want to say I want to buy a game, so like I want to buy a game. So what am I going to do is just like for example, I will add one more here, else if games, just game or game, yeah, goods is equal to game. Okay, if they want to buy a game, so what I want you to do like this, you will see what I mean. I have another while loop here inside here, while loop inside the if else if, and let's just say let's say we have the another variable called count. Okay, count equal to 0, and your count is, in case your count is less than the q, and you will print something like this. Let's just print x. Now you have another parameter, is called n equal to slash r. Okay, slash r. So what does it mean? It means, I'm going to show you and then explain what slash r means here. Okay, so when I click run, so I say I want to buy a game. So how many do you want? I want 9. So you see what happened? Right, just because here it will be so let me just stop it, and these print things, and if you have a slash r, which in the old day is called carriage, like the typing machine, and this r means you move your cursor when the typing machine, you move the cursor back to the beginning. So if you print x and you print here, and then you go back to the first position and keep printing, and that's how this slash r do, because it means it move your cursor from the end and back to the beginning here. So what I want to add here is like your count have to plus equal to 1, and I want to have more x, like more things. Let me just change the x to something like this. Let's see if I can find a strawberry or something. All right, let me just search game. It's kind of slow. Okay, so I have this. And now I will replace, I will add more here. I will add here, let's just say a G for game. I have nothing here, but every time my game just add more game console. So, and this time I'm going to print the G. And this code is a little bit complicated, but I'm going to show you, you will understand what I mean. I click run, and I said game. Oh, you have to click here. Oopsie. Game. what do you want to buy? Name game is not available. Okay, I clear, and now click run. What do you want to buy? This game. And how many do you want to buy? 99. So doesn't really work here. Let's see. Do it again. Game and 8. How many do you want to buy? It's just like here. I will do, let's just do one more like here. Okay. I will do one more here. I will do one more here. It's just like print, just print nothing, and have a new line. Now, and every time, like last week, we already learned this one called import time, and we do time slip. And 0.25 seconds. And now I will run it again, and it's game, and it's 8. So you see it just keep moving something here, right? Maybe I change this guy to the start and see what happens. Game 8. So that's what I want you to do. All right. So I want you to finish this code like these kind of things, like a little bit complicated, but the rest of you guys, you can add more product. That's for your homework. And if you want to add a game function, and you probably can do like this kind of code. What I want you to do, just like you can have to repeat, to showing something in the same line, like you have the star, or you have a person running, and you copy the emoji from this website, but it keep printing in the same line. You know what I mean? That's what I want you to do. So if you have finished your homework, you can send it to me to the help@dataera.ca. Yeah, you can send your homework to help@dataera.ca. Okay, and that's it for today for the basic level. And for some of you, if you have interest to add the game into your store, you can use this function. And I don't want you to finish right now, and you can finish after the class. And I will send this code to your parents, and you can follow the code and work on your project. Okay, and that's it for the basic level. And I'm going to move forward with the junior level. So I'm going to take a break and just have a cup of water, and I will come back with you. All right, guys. Let's continue. So we have last week we do the J5, and the only thing left is I want you to convert the program from the recursive program to the we call the while loop. So after that, we are going to make a HTML page, and which will be just a circle, and we do a little bit HTML, and then we do CSS. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just like pull out my PyCharm. So I will have my PyCharm. That's my PyCharm. So that's my PyCharm. And I'm going to add one more file. So you do right click and Python file. So I'm going to show you how to convert the recursive to while loop. Recursive. Okay, just recursive. The name called recursive. So first, we are going to make a program called. Let's just make a program called make star. So just print some star. Okay. Make star. And with a parameter called count, whatever you want. And now we have, for a recursive function, you have to stop in some level, right? So for, let's say if count is greater than 8, and now you will return, and you have to return. You have to go back, otherwise you would go further, like go further. Okay, but you probably need to change this parameter a little bit, increase 1. So you will see this program. If you see this function, if you call this function, and this count will keep increasing, but go all the way down to increase the count. So I'm going to do just a print here, and you will see a star multiplied by the count. All right. So of course I'm going to call it, just make star 0. So if I click run, I have to click run and choose recursive, and you will see I print my output is from 1 star, because from 1 star all the way to I guess is A star here. Okay, so that's the small function we have to convert to do the recursive. So you see, if I make a star and it just go inside here, inside the function, it will call itself, just make star again, but this parameter, the value of the parameter keep changing, because you do increase 1, and for the next level it will increase. And Michael make star is just a name. It is the name of the function. Doesn't really matter. You can have show star or something, whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. This is the name of the function. So that's how we do. You can print something like this, So it's called recursive, right? Because you call itself. You just go deeper and deeper and deeper. And every time once you call this function, it comes back to the program, and it can continue to do something like print, like let me just do a minus here and multiply by the count. And if I add this one more here and this one more print output and see what happened. So I'm going to click run. So you see it's doing something like this. So you go all the way to the 8, and then you go all the way to the end. All right. So I want you to finish this code as soon as possible, and then I'm going to convert it to while loop. And if you're done, please let me know. Put it into the chat box. All right, I think most of you guys have been done because it's pretty straightforward. It's called recursive. The reason it's called recursive because you call the function is calling itself, but you have to change something because you have to stop in at somewhere, right? And the bad thing for recursive in Python is it won't be able to go down 1000. So what I mean here is if you put 8000 here, and it would have some problem. So I'm going to show you. So you end up with this. It's called maximum recursion depth exists by calling a Python object. So which means Python doesn't like if you have to go over 1000 level. So that's why we want to convert it to while loop instead of using the recursive. But not all the recursive function can use the while loop to do. But here, because we only have one parameter, is called count, and our process is easy, and that's why we can convert it to the while loop. And with the while loop, you won't have this kind of error, and the program will be much more faster. Now, let's just convert it to the while loop. So how am I going to convert it to the while loop? So you can do like this here. First, you will define a queue. I guess Ali used this trick before. So let's just create a queue. And if the queue is empty, and we are not going to do anything. So for example, if while queue is empty, we do nothing, like print doing something. So if the queue is empty, we are not going to do anything. So I'm going to show you, like, repeat this one. So there's nothing to do over here. So because the queue is empty. But if the queue it has something like, let's just start from 0, just like you are calling make the start from 0, and in the queue you use pop. Like last week we already used this trick to pop it out. Pop it out, and after you pop it, and you probably put it into a variable called count, and now you would this queue will end, and you just do one time of doing something, because once the queue pop, and this count will come out, and this 0 will pop out, and it put it into the variable called count. And that's how you can do with this one. Okay, so again, if the count, we got the count, you should increase the count, right? Because like here you will increase it, you increase it 1, and now if the count is greater than 8, instead of return, you use break. You break it. You will use break to break it. And now we just do the same thing like here. And I'm gonna not just print doing something. I will bring print star multiple by count, and let's see what happened here. If you do that, and I'm going to click it, and I only have 1 star in here. Okay, so how am I going to call it again? Like after I increase the count, so you put the count back to your queue. You put it back to the queue. So that's what I want you to do. Just like the queue dot append the count. Right? You just put the count back to the queue. But this time the count already increased 1, and that's how it works. So let me just do it like print, and this time you can have something half of them, like half of this. Okay, half of this. All right, so what I want you to do is like you will do this, just finish this code, and it will make almost the same like the recursive function. See? And I want you to think about how to do this part, like they are decreasing after the make start and come back, and how are you going to do it, like dropping back, and that is one of your homework. Okay, but right now I just want you to do this. Just finish this part and let me know if you are done, and after that we will move forward to the HTML and the CSS thing. Yeah, but as the homework, you should try to figure out how to make this one work with this while loop. Okay. Okay, if you're done with this, please let me know, so we can move forward to the HTML and the CSS. And Michael, if you have problem with the PyCharm, just use the repel it. So I'm going to show you the repel it. And next time, if you come earlier in like 6:15, So just talk to me and I will work with you to deal with the PyCharm things. Okay, don't worry about that. And if you still have some problem, you will figure it out. And one of the trick to do the debug in the PyCharm, you can try this guy. You see there's a ladybug here. So you can just click on, click here beside the line, click here. And if you click the debug and see what happens, it will stop here. And if you want to go step by step, and of course you can see what happened let's just stop here as well. So you can do step over. So you would go over here and step, 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 step. All right. So you see that in this side there's a recursive just doing the thread, just calling the stack one level by one level. So yeah, I also, if you have PyCharm, you can do this one. And the step over is just go jump to the next line. And the step into, and usually, like for example, you are calling the function, you can jump into the function. So that is called step into. And you can use this ladybug in your PyCharm. And of course, you have to set a breakpoint. We call breakpoint, and you click here. And now you can debug your program and see what's wrong with your program, and see which one is causing the problem. And of course, you can see here on the variables, it shows you the count, which means at the moment this count is equal to 8. Okay, and that's one of the things you can do with the PyCharm. You can debug them, like debug. And now you come back here. This is how you do the debug in PyCharm, and you can do any program, not just recursive function or any function. You can do any program. And yeah, like if you are really good at programming, you might not, you don't need the debug, because you can read the code and you can just use the print statement. Sometimes you can figure out what's wrong with the program. But if you are the guy want to do the step by step, you can use the ladybug and just click step over or step into and jump into the program one by one, and you can check the variable. Like here you can see my queue is emptied here, and it will show you the variables. Okay, and that's one of the tricks using the PyCharm. So I'm going to stop here. Okay, so that's it for the Python today. What I want you to do, just in your homework, you try to figure out how to print the minus light in recursive using the while loop. If you have done, and please send me the answer. Okay, the other thing is here. The second thing we are going to learn is the HTML things. So I know some of you guys may be the first time to do the HTML. So that's why I'm going to show you bit by bit. All right, so what I want you to do is, if you have like Visual Studio Code, you can use Visual Studio Code. If you don't have it, and we just use notepad. All right, so you have the notepad, but if you have the Visual Studio Code, it just looks like a pie chart. It have you can create a project, like you go file and you create a folder in your desktop. Like in the desktop, you can create a folder. Like for example, I create a new folder called HTML, right? Something like this, and you in your Visual Studio Code, you just open this one, HTML. Now you open it, and from here you can do like PyCharm. You can just add some file here. Okay, what I do today here is like, because I know some of you guys doesn't have the Visual Studio Code, that's why I use Notepad, or you can use use a Notepad. Let me just close this one. There's a Notepad, a new one. So if you have a Notepad, how are you going to have Notepad? You can just go your Windows should have a search bar here. Just type Notepad, or you can use Notepad++. Or if you have Visual Studio Code and you use Visual Studio Code, okay. But here I used Notepad, and this one is called Text Edit in Mac. What I want you to do, just do like have the first markup div and div, like something like this. Okay, just type this. Yeah, Android, we are learning the HTML. Okay. So what I want you to do, just type div and div. That is the HTML markup. And we are going to do the HTML because last time you guys say you want to learn HTML. And now it's a junior level. And once you have the HTML, this file, new file, and you are going to use Control S in Windows, or here I use Mac is Command S. And now I can choose desktop and choose the folder called HTML. Now I will name my HTML called index.html, right? With the extension called .html, index.html. Okay. In Notepad and in Windows, you have the one option on the right hand side. Make sure you choose all file, and then you type .html, index.html. But if you are with the Notepad, you just click on the. If you are using Visual Studio Code, you just click on this button, and you can create a new file called index.html. I know some of you guys is the first time to do that. You doesn't. Everyone have. In Mac is called. In Mac is called this guy, text edit. Okay. This guy, text edit. You got it. Text edit. If in Windows you use Notepad, but once you press Control+S or Command S, you save it. Make sure you use the extension called .html. And there's one box here is called you choose all file, and you have HTML. Okay, yeah, you have the notepad, Android. That's good. That's the, yeah, you use notepad. Okay, yeah, Michael, you can use the text edit, because if you are in Mac and you use text edit, but make sure you save it .html, index.html, and now you can save it. And here if you ask use .html, and I will use .html, so my file will be HTML file. All right, and yeah, you can use Visual Studio Code, which is much more easier. But if you don't want to, you can just use text edit or the notepad. And that doesn't really matter, but make sure your file is with the extension called .html. All right. So inside here, you say like just put 1, 2, 3. You save it. And now what I want you to do is just like you have your Chrome open. You open a new tab. No, Android, you should be able to save it. So if you have a notepad, right, you open the notepad, and now you go to file, and there's a save button here. You click save, and you choose desktop, and now you make sure your extension is HTML. Just type index.html. And in Windows, Notepad by default it will save as the .txt. So on your right bottom side in the window, you choose all files, and now you can save. You click save, and it will save with the index.html. All right. Otherwise, if you think you still have the problem, you can download the Visual Studio Code and use the Visual Studio Code to do index.html. Just click here, this button, and now you have the index.html. And it's up to you. And the most easy way, just use the notepad. Oh yeah, if you use the text edit, just go to the format and make. There should be an option to make plain text. Just change the format to the plain text, okay? Because you are using the rich text. So just click use plain text, and now you can save as the index.html. Okay. Or you might, if you are good at the command line, like what I do, I like this the command line. In Windows, you just type CMD in the search box, it will show up. In Mac, you also can do this. Just CMD. No, maybe terminal. Yeah. In Mac, you type terminal, it will show up. Okay. And Android, yeah, it shouldn't be that much different. In Windows, I'm gonna show you in Windows. Give me 1 second. Here's my Windows. in here. Oh, that's too small. Close this screen. Alright, so let me resize so you can see my screen. So I have a Windows here. If you're using the window, you just go to the notepad. I type notepad. So you open a notepad, right? And here you type too small for you, I guess. Just type anything, div, whatever you want, div, something like that. And you click file, you do save. If you save, make sure the type is all files, okay? And now in the desktop, and like what we have is just like I create a new folder. A new folder is here, new folder, and like just HTML, whatever name you want. Double click the HTML. Now you have here, in here. Now you make sure you type the file name is called index.html. Okay, index.html, index.html. Now you can save it. Let me just zoom it in. Now you should see clearly. Choose all files and index.html. Now you can save it. That's how you can save it. And if you go back to your desktop should have the folder called HTML, and you have this file, okay? And that's how we use the notepad. Okay. And now we have the index.html like this, and you type 1, 2, 3 between this markup. One div, the other div with the slash, that is the close div. Now you go back to the Chrome. In Chrome, you can in Windows you can have the Control+O. That's shortcut to open the file. In Mac, you can use Command+O, or you can go to the menu, click File, and open file. Which way is up to you. You just like go here, you go desktop, go to HTML, and now you have the index.html you just created. And now you have the 1, 2, 3 over here. Okay, so Android, don't give up. It's just like you probably just download the Visual Studio Code. It would be much more easier for you. Okay, if you still have some problem with the notepad, after this class I can help you. All right, so yeah, and now we have 1, 2, 3. So what I want is like in this 1, 2, 3, I want to add a border. Like what is called a border? Like, you know what I mean? A border. So I will add a space here. I type style equal to, have a double quote here. And what style means here. It means one of the attribute for this markup. The attribute. So inside the style, you type border. In the border, you set 1 pixel space solid red. Okay, and now don't forget you end with the semicolon comments, semi-comments. So you have this one, right? Now you have to save it, and you can have Control+S, or you can go to File to save it, save, or in command line in the map you have Command S, so you save it. Okay, you save it, and now if you go back to the Chrome, and you already open here, right? So now you have something like this, a border. So you add a border here. So what I want you to do, just change the 1 to 10. Now you save it again. You should have a big border like this. All right. So I want you to do this line of code, and in a notepad or in a text edit or in a Visual Studio Code. In Android, if you still have the problem and you don't have time to download the Visual Studio Code, you can use PyCharm. You can use what PyCharm? I'll show you. So like in PyCharm, you just open the folder you create in the desktop, and you have HTML open here, and you open right here. Now you see if you want to add a new file, just add file. Don't choose Python file, just file. And now you type index1.html. Now you can have the index.html. Now you use the PyCharm to work on here. Now 10 pixel. Sorry, just border 1 pixel, 10 pixel, space solid and red. Now you close it, and 1, 2, 3. So you got what I mean? So you just do with the PyCharm. If you don't have Visual Studio Code, doesn't really matter. PyCharm also do it. All right. So yeah, because we have this one, right? This one. So what I want to do is I want to make this box smaller, and I want to make this box smaller. So how are you going to do that? What you need to do, just behind here, you add the width and commas, and like 200, like 500 pixel. You may ask what is pixel means. Pixel is in the in your screen. They literally is like 1 point. 1 point in your screen is called 1 pixel. So there are a lot of dots in your screen, a lot of dots. So it's counted by pixel. Okay, so 500 pixel basically is saying the length. Okay, so like in the border, the first one is 10 pixel, which means the thickness of this border is 10 pixel, and I said it's solid, and you can have a dash or underline, whatever you want, and you can change the style of this this line. And red, of course, is the color. You can change it to green. And now here is wide is 500 pixel, and high is 500 pixel. Okay, again, don't forget to save it. Just save it. Now you have something like this. You should have something refresh. You should have something like this. Okay. So in the style, we call this one is called CSS, or it is a style for this block. Okay. So you still have 1, 2, 3 here. So yeah, a bit for the HTML is not hard. You just like have the let me explain to you guys. Just like you just have a markup. What is markup means? They have something like less than and greater than. That is the star, and here is close. How do you tell me it's a close? Because that is a / here. So that will close this block. And inside the block, like inside here, you can put the content like 1, 2, 3, or a long story. You can put a long story between here, just some free text, and it will show here. So HTML is like you do something inside here, inside this block, and you use this attribute or style to control the format or the border inside this block. Okay, it's easier. And now you have the width and height, so it's 500 and 500 by 500. It's 500 by 500. If your screen is big enough, you can have 500 and 500. If your screen is too small, you can have 400 to 400. Too small, and you say, hey, it doesn't show that big, and then you just refresh and make your block is smaller. And now here you would add background color is to, let's just say blue. Okay, blue. And now you click here, you fill out with blue. Okay, blue. And that is the background color. You just put blue or light blue if you don't want. It's just light blue, something like this. Okay. So you add one more called background color, and don't forget to have a dash here. It's background color. Blue. So all right, okay, but you really don't like the color like light blue or the red. So what am I how am I going to change this value like red or blue? I really have no idea, no clue. So one way is you can go back to the Google and see saying HTML code color, HTML color, and then you can change it. You can run it. You can run it in Visual Studio Code, but what you can do is just go to the Chrome and just use the Chrome to run it, because that would be much more easier for you to see the real things. So don't use the Visual Studio Code to do this. Okay, just use the browser. Just go to Chrome or use the Edge, whatever you want. Just open the file, the index.html, and now you see this thing. So like if I don't like the light blue or I don't like the red, so I want to change some color, looks much more beautiful. So how am I going to do that? So I'm going to show you the trick, right? I'm going to show you the trick. So you have your mouse, come over here, do the right click and choose inspect. Choose inspect. You click inspect. You choose right click, inspect. Right click, inspect. Okay. Now you will see that here. You saw that? If you click here, and some of you guys might be at the bottom. At the bottom, that really doesn't matter. You will see your code is in here, right? Exactly what you did. And under the tab of called elements. So if you want to change the color red, so how are you going to do it? You go to this block. If you found the style in here, you click on the red, and there's a color ball here. So this is what I like choosing moving this one, and you see in this color ball that you can see there's a hex value here, and you can copy it. Okay, you can copy it. Make sure you copy it. Like if you move around here, you double click this hex value. My one is PAM E67B7B, and you copied it, and now you press enter, and it also show up here. Now you go back to your code, and you replace the red with this with the PAM sign E67B7B, which is the HTML, also the color code. Okay, now you can change. You save it, you go back here and you refresh. Now you change the color of this, and of course for the background color, you go back to click on this box, and you might just adjust. Like for example, I choose the 0. Go here or here. It's up to you. So, and you also just copy this one, or you can hit enter, and you will change here. And you go back to your code, and you change my light blue with this one, and don't forget to put the pound sign on at the beginning of your pound sign of your color code. Okay, now if you save this file, and now you refresh, and it would be like this. Okay, the last thing I want you to do is like how about you just add one more thing behind here. Before the double quote, you just do border radius, something like this. So what does it mean? I show you. Yeah, what does it mean? I haven't finished that yet. Just CSS border radius. So you have border radius. So I add this one, and now I add like 20 pixel. So you have border underscore radius, and you put 20 pixel. Now you save it, you come back here, and would it be much more better because you make this corner looks better. Okay, you just put the 20 pixel for the border radius. You have this one. Because my size is 400, right? If my radius is 200, so let's see what happens. I just divide by 2, like my height and my width is divided by 2, so it would be looks like this. It's a circle. So you got it. It's a circle. Now you can just remove the content there. 1, 2, 3. Now you should have a perfect circle around and around. Okay, so if you're done, please let me know. We have a circle, 200 pixel, a big circle now. Now today we just learn get started with the HTML, because HTML is really easy, because it only has the markup, and in this markup, and you can put the style or you can put the other things. But to control the style of this block, you would add some of the value like this. For example, is you define a border. The border is like 10 pixel and is solid, and the color you just choose from the color box. In you have the width like 400 by 400 of 500 by 500 is up to you. And you add background color, and now you change the color to 0, this kind of 0. And you also define the border radius, so which makes your circle to be round. Looks like round, not exactly round, but it's round. So you can divide by 2, and so you can have something like round here. And if you are familiar with the CSS, you can add a picture here. So like you can add your picture here and make a circle and run that. And we will do that next week. And of course, you will can use this guy called inspect, which is the developer console, and you can adjust things here and do the experiment and how the CSS work with this. And I don't think it's hard for you guys. Yeah, for example, if you want this one go down a little bit and this side go this side a little bit, you can do a margin, like just margin 10 pixel. Now if you just go 10 from here and 10 from here, just go down a little bit. Right? So I think that's it for today. And for you guys, to homework is like go download Visual Studio Code. If you don't know how to download it, just Google. And if you just keep using the PyCharm, there's no problem. You can just use PyCharm. PyCharm can do the same thing. But Visual Studio Code can do a lot of things. Like for example, I show you, like here, and you can just click on this one. Oopsie. And they will show you the color code, something like that. And it's easier for you to do the coding in HTML with Visual Studio Code. Okay, but it really doesn't matter. You can use Notepad or TextEdit. But for TextEdit, make sure your format is like making it is the plain text. Okay. Yeah, so today we just make a circle. That's easy for you guys, and just one line of code for the HTML is straightforward and easier. And that's the HTML. Okay, and you of course you can change different color, and or you can make this one. We can make the color to be what we call gradient. I'm showing you here gradient. What I mean gradient. Where's the gradient? Yeah, this have a lot of this kind of thing, a lot of things like this. It's just like making the whole thing looks pretty, much more pretty. And that's the point for the CSS. Okay, or arrange where's this box in the layout, where should we put it, and that's what the CSS do. Now of course you can come back here and choose one of the color. They have the very good color over here in W3 Schools, or you can just Google HTML color, and they have a lot of color. See, there's a pound sign here, right? So you copy this guy and like sky blue, and now you go back here and change the color, and it will show up on your website. So that's it for today, and see you next week. And also don't forget to finish your code for the Python, and I want to know the answer how to make the light to print the minus in the while loop. Yeah, we will learn HTML and CSS next week. We will continue with that, unless you guys have some problem and you want to do something else. But so far we will just do HTML. And I know you guys might be really good at programming, and for HTML and CSS, it's not that hard. And yeah, you will learn it very quick. Oh, the app is called Visual Studio Code. So let me show you what it means. Here, Visual Studio Code. This guy. Okay, Visual Studio Code. Yeah, Visual Studio Code. It's free for community version. It's pretty much like the PyCharm if you use PyCharm. And if you are the guy who just want to use the text edit or the notepad, it's just okay. It's good. It's okay for the JavaScript and the CSS, HTML. Or someone just use this guy. I'll show you, like this kind of thing. In the command line, like this kind of thing. You still can do the programming with this, unless you never saw this kind of thing for Nano in something like this. Yeah, it's cool. There are a lot of editor in the world, and you can use that. All right, see you guys.